Once hailed as one of the greatest multiplayer experiences of its time, Team Fortress 2 was more than just a game. It was a lifestyle for many people. Released in 2007 as part of Valve's Orange Box, TF2 quickly captured the hearts of millions with its unique blend of class-based gameplay, quirky humor, and a visual style that stood out from anything else on the market at that time. But today, the game is a shadow of its former self. Servers once filled with the chaotic fun of capture the flag or payload are now plagued by bots, hackers, and dwindling player counts. So what happened? How did a game so beloved fall so far? Well, today we're going to be talking about the dark truth behind Team Fortress 2's decline. To understand TF2's decline, we need to first appreciate what made it great. Team Fortress 2 was, in many ways, revolutionary. The game's 9 distinct classes, each with their own unique abilities and playstyles, allowed for a level of strategic depth that was rare in first-person shooters. Its art style, heavily inspired by 1960s advertising illustrations, gave the game a timeless quality, make it stand out in an area dominated by gritty, realistic shooters like Call of Duty and Halo. The community was vibrant, creating countless mods, maps, and even animated shorts inspired by the game. Valve actively supported this creativity, encouraging a close-knit relationship between developers and players. The Meet the Team videos, which provided backstory for each of the game's characters, became viral sensations, further endearing the game to its fans. However, the seeds of TF2's downfall were planted during these golden years, masked by the game's overwhelming success. The first major turning point in Team Fortress 2's history came in 2011, when Valve made the game free to play. On the surface, this decision seemed like a win for everyone. The game saw a massive influx of new players, and Valve monetized the game through microtransactions, primarily focused on cosmetic items like hats, weapon skins, and other accessories. The now infamous Man Co store was born, where players could spend real money to purchase these in-game items. But as TF2 transitioned into a free-to-play model, it began to lose something vital: its soul. What was once a tightly balanced, skill-based shooter slowly became a more chaotic mess of cosmetic items and unbalanced weapons. The introduction of microtransactions shifted the game's focus from gameplay to profit. Valve, once praised for its commitment to quality, now seemed more interested in cashing in on its fanbase. This monetization strategy wasn't unique to TF2. Games like Fortnite, Apex Legends, and League of Legends have all thrived using similar methods, but for TF2, the shift felt particularly jarring. The game's identity became muddled, with new players more interested in collecting hats than mastering the game's mechanics. The once vibrant community began to fracture, with older players feeling alienated by the influx of newcomers who cared more about cosmetics than gameplay. As the years went by, TF2's updates became less frequent. Major content updates like the Uber update and Love and War were once highly anticipated events that brought new maps, weapons, and game modes. But after 2017, these updates became increasingly rare. Valve, known for its secretive development process, offered little communication about the game's future, leading to growing frustration within the community. And rightly so. The last major update, Jungle Inferno, was released in October 2017. Since then, TF2 has been largely abandoned by its developers. Minor patches still trickle in, but they're mostly focused on bug fixes or minor balance changes. For a game that once thrived on constant evolution, this constant drought has been devastating. Meanwhile, other games continue to innovate. Titles like Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, and Fortnite introduced new content regularly, keeping their player bases engaged. Team Fortress 2, on the other hand, stagnated. Without new content to keep players interested, the game's population began to dwindle. Perhaps the most glaring issue facing TF2 today is the bot crisis. Automated bots designed to cheat, spam, and disrupt gameplay have overrun the game's servers. This problem has become so severe that many public matches are nearly unplayable. Bots with aimbotting capabilities can kill players the moment they spawn, while others flood the chat with racist or offensive messages, making the game a toxic environment for both new and returning players. Valve's response to the bot crisis has been slow and inadequate, to say the least. Despite years of complaints from the community, the company has done little to address the issue. Occasional patches attempt to curb the problem, but they're often too little too late. For many players, the presence of bots has driven them away from the game altogether. The bot crisis is more than just an inconvenience, it's a symptom of a larger problem. Valve's neglect of TF2 has allowed the game's once thriving community to wither. In the absence of active moderation, bad actors have filled the void, turning what was once a welcoming environment to a hostile one. To understand why TF2 has been neglected, we need a look at Valve as a company. In the years following TF2's release, Valve was one of the most beloved game developers in the world. But today, the company's priorities have shifted. Rather than focusing on game development, Valve has been more interested in maintaining its digital storefront, Steam, and exploring new technologies like virtual reality. Games like Dota 2 and Counter-Strike Global Offensive continue to receive regular updates, but TF2 has been left behind. Why? The answer likely lies in profitability. While TF2 still has a dedicated player base, it doesn't generate nearly as much revenue as Valve's other games. In a world where live service games are expected to constantly churn out new content, TF2 simply doesn't bring in enough money to justify significant development resources. Valve's laissez-faire approach to game development has also contributed to TF2's decline. The company is known for its flat organizational structure, where employees are free to work on projects they're passionate about. While this model has produced groundbreaking games like Half-Life 2 and Portal, it also means that less profitable games like TF2 can fall by the wayside. As TF2 stagnated, other games emerged to fill the void. Overwatch, released in 2016, was often described as TF2 with a Blizzard twist. With its polished graphics, tight gameplay, and regular content updates, Overwatch quickly became a massive success, drawing many players away from TF2. While Overwatch has faced its own challenges in recent years, its impact on TF2 can't be overstated. Blizzard's hero shooter took the class-based formula pioneered by TF2 and redefined it for a new generation of gamers. For many, Overwatch was the game that TF2 could have been, if only Valve had continued to support it. Other games like Fortnite and Apex Legends have also drawn players away from TF2 by offering fast-paced, team-based gameplay with regular updates and new content. With this highly competitive landscape, TF2's lack of innovation has made it increasingly irrelevant. But despite all these challenges, Team Fortress 2's community has proven to be remarkably resilient. Fan-made content, including mods, maps, and cosmetics, continues to breathe life into the game. Community servers run by dedicated fans offer a refuge from the bot-infested wasteland of official servers. The Team Fortress 2 Classic mod, for example, seeks to recreate the game's early days, before the introduction of microtransactions and the flood of new weapons. For many players, these community-driven projects are the only reason to keep playing. However, the community's efforts can only do so much. Without the support of Valve, TF2's decline seems inevitable. The passion of the game's fans is admirable, but it can't replace the resources and expertise that only a developer like Valve can provide. So, what does the future hold for Team Fortress 2? Unfortunately, not much. Valve has shown little interest in reviving the game, and the player base continues to shrink. The bot crisis remains unresolved, and without new content, there's little to attract new players to the game. But perhaps Team Fortress 2 was never meant to last forever. The game's decline is a reminder that even the most beloved titles can't escape the passage of time. In an industry that's constantly evolving, games must adapt or risk being left behind. Team Fortress 2 has been a cultural touchstone in the gaming world, inspiring countless memories and fan content, from thrilling in-game moments to endless community-driven creativity. Despite the challenges it faces today, the game still holds a special place in the hearts of many. However, it's clear that TF2's fate now lies in the hands of its community. If TF2 has any chance of surviving the long term, it will be because of fans who refuse to let it die. The community-driven passion has kept TF2 alive longer than anyone could have expected, and it's testament to the game's enduring appeal. Yet, there is a bittersweet reality here. While the community has kept TF2 on life support, it can't fully restore the game to its former glory. Without Valve's direct intervention and commitment, Team Fortress 2 will continue to decline. As players were left to ponder the legacy of Team Fortress 2, the game's decline serves as a stark reminder of the fleeting nature of online experiences. Even a game as iconic as TF2 is not immune to the forces of time, competition, and corporate priorities. The dark truth behind TF2's decline isn't just about the game itself, it's about the industry's shift away from long-term support and the pursuit of innovation towards short-term profit and market trends. In the end, Team Fortress 2 may be remembered as a cautionary tale, a story about how a once beloved game was slowly abandoned by its creators, despite the unwavering support of its fans. So what's next for this game? It's hard to say. The game could continue its slow descent into obscurity, or it might see a resurgence, driven by community efforts or a surprise revival from Valve. Whatever happens, Team Fortress 2 will always be remembered as one of the most influential games of its era. A game that defined a generation of online multiplayer and left an incredible mark on the gaming landscape. In a way, TF2's decline is as much a part of its story as its rise to fame. It's a chapter in the ongoing narrative of gaming history, where even the brightest stars eventually fade. But until that day comes, we'll continue to push the cart, cap the points, and fight on. Because, hopefully, with the community, in the world of Team Fortress 2, its battle never truly ends. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I would really appreciate it if you guys checked out any of my other videos. But that's it for now, so thank you.